Llanwrtyd Community Transport started in 1992 following a remit from PAVO and I believe it was the town council in Llanwrtyd, I'm not sure on that, who wanted to start a sort of voluntary car service, and I got appointed to do the job, but on my terms. And from the start I didn't want just to take people to hospital, etc. I wanted to see the community transport be the explosive agent that could start a regeneration process within the small community of Llanwrtyd. I started with a really generous budget of £800, and we now have a turnover around 300,000, 13 buses and cars, and it's grown into a rather bigger aspect. To fund the services we provide, the transport services, we have to generate 90,000 plus a year to pay for that non-productive service. To do that, we have to raise 300,000 approximately 300,000 a year to give us that 90,000 to provide those services. We don't have a policy of just working with one sector of the community. The community transport scheme is open to everyone within our locality who become an automatic member of the scheme, and so it goes from the young who want to go to play school or they want to go play football, through to the people who are long-term unemployed, people who want to go to golf tournaments. It's totally inclusive, so it's not just restricted to people who want to go to hospital or doctor's appointments, etc. To fund this service, we've had to look outside the box, and this is where we started things like the events recycling is our biggest finance generator. And it's not just, we go to the events, you can see from the website, we go to events and provide the service. After that, we then have a problem what to do with this rubbish. And what you see around you and behind me is some of the uses that we're turning waste into other products that we can sell to finance the community transport. It's a road we've been going down for 5 years. We're beginning now to reach the stage where it's marketable, and as I said to you earlier on, we're now working with universities in Britain, we're working with people in Canada, Australia, in America, to develop the concept of what we've come up with. We could go on for ever and ever, but from that has allowed us to look at the wider aspect of the community regeneration and social enterprise as a whole. And from that grew the community garden, which I'll leave Laura to fill you in on that more than me. The community garden, cuppa clubs, it's just ways of bringing people back into society, identifying the isolated, the lonely, etc., bringing them back into society and giving them a reason for living and possibly a chance to earn a little bit of money. And this is why we moved into the station in Llanwrtyd, which is a new concept for us, a community centre, which is, we will see later on, you will see that. And basically that's it.
The social enterprise mark we decided to go for to demonstrate our social value to the community. The social enterprise mark is awarded to schemes and organisations that adhere to social value. We were nominated for their Making a Mark campaign, which included the Eden Project and several other very large organisations, and we were quite amazed to be awarded the runners-up, which was a large shock to us, as we really weren't expecting it, being up against such big organisations and a lot of quite well-known organisations. So for Llanwrtyd community transport to be recognised was really good. But I think it shows our commitment to the community, and hopefully it'll demonstrate what we are all about, and the social aspect of what we do.
Choose to go down the social enterprise route. It's been a belief of mine since that we have to give something back to the community where I've grown up and where the community has been very good to me. Community transport gave us the opportunity to start what we call the wheel. That allowed us access to the people who needed us most, so that we could bring them on board. They knew other people, and so it grew exponentially. I think that's the word. But that has allowed us to look at the regeneration of the area, and this is where Laura's going to come in with all the other aspects that we do now. But it's looking at the broader picture, not just at how we can take people to hospital, but what we can push back into the community in the hope of regenerating.
I mean, the ways that we show our social values, like we've got the community garden, where fresh fruit and vegetables are grown and given to those who might not necessarily have regular access to fresh fruit and vegetables. As I was saying earlier, somebody living on their own doesn't want to go and buy a big sack of potatoes because they just won't use them. So being supplied with a handful of fresh potatoes every week, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it means that they are accessing fresh food that they might not necessarily have access to. And again, the community centre is a way of sort of bringing people together to get them involved with the community, get them involved with other people, which people don't always necessarily see people from one week to the next until they come down to the coffee mornings. So it's all part of our social value.